President, this is Agent Niccolo Mancuso.
Sorry I kept you waiting. I'm Sam Baker. Nice to meet you, Mr. Mancuso.
Nick.
All right, Nick.
They're ready for you, sir.
Shall we walk over together? You know, Nick, you've done a great service for your country, and I want you to know how grateful I am.
Didn't do much.
Your family must be very proud.
Don't have family.
Friends, then?
Yeah, well...
What do you think of all this, Nick? You know, what's happened?
What's the difference, what I think?
No difference, just curiosity. You know, when you sit in my chair long enough, things tend to get a little distorted.
Yeah, from where I sit, too.
I suppose when you've been at it as long as you have, it's just a job, huh?
Is that what it is for you? Just a job?
Some days I wish it was just a job.
Me too.
Good evening, Mr. President.
Good evening.
They're ready for the direction.
See you in a minute.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Mr. Mancuso. Dolores, give him a quick one here.
Quick one.
This way, baby.
Huh?
It's right around the corner. Right in there. You sit right there, sweetheart.
What's all this?
Honey, you're going to be on television. You got to have makeup. Otherwise, you're going to look like a dead fish.
Television.
Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States.
My fellow Americans, 1 week ago, this nation and civilized people everywhere were outraged by the brutal and cowardly murder of Colonel Octavio Martinez, leader of the Contra freedom fighters. Yesterday, Vice President Daniel Eastman requested that Congress conduct an investigation into the murder of Colonel Martinez because, in his misinformed view,
Come on,
the
knock it
FBI
off, will you?
investigation
Hey,
was
you want to look
designed
like Don
fail.
Johnson or not?
Well, tonight I am pleased to tell you that the FBI investigation has succeeded. A lone FBI agent, guided by his experience, spurred on by his own courage, traced the assassin and cornered him.
Is
Last
that you
night,
he's talking about?
Wolf Peterson,
You did
the
all
hired
that?
killer of Colonel
Did
Martinez,
nothing.
was
It's a
surrounded
frame.
and killed.
Oh, sure.
by a team
That's
of
why they're giving you
Baltimore
this whole
police.
big show.
I'd
Honey,
like you to meet this
you're
man,
a star.
the man who identified Peterson, the man who followed his trail, and the fearless, faithful man who tracked this ruthless killer to his death. His heroic act should underscore
Let's go, hero.
for all
You're
of
on.
us that the individual American citizen, armed with the Constitution and
Mr.
respecting the law,
Mancuso. There
is
you
the
go.
fundamental strength
Don't worry
of
about
this
it, you'll be
nation
fine.
and our best defense
That's it.
of
Smile.
freedom.
Whatever happens, just
Now,
keep that
ladies
grin
and
on your
gentlemen,
face.
may I introduce to you FBI agent Nick Mancuso.
told you if they got a break in the case, you'd look like an idiot. National press conference, letter to Congress, hearings to expose Baker's cover-up. He just made you look like a world-class clown.
What do we do?
Do? I'm gonna go home and pack for the trip back to Philadelphia.
What do we do?
The only thing we can do. We go for it all.
Here you go, Master. Hey, there he is!
Hey, everybody, the party's on me. The drinks are on me.
You guys seen Dave Ross? I'm looking for him.
Innocent Nick Mancuso, hero cop and television star.
No hero.
What are you thinking about?
If I knew why that show was black, I'd break this thing.
I see.
I'm sorry.
Don't you ever think about anything but work?
Sally, You okay?
I don't know what I feel. It's been so long since I touched anyone except
Fallon?
Yeah.
Why does he have such a hold on you? You know, I mean, you could have any... Is this you? What did you do to your hair?
That was in the jungle. I cut it.
Was that when you were a nurse?
Yes. Well, actually, that day I was hunting.
With an AR-15?
It's dangerous in the jungle.
You weren't afraid of the jungle. Why are you so afraid of Fallon?
I'm not.
He's dangerous, isn't he? Fallon is dangerous, isn't he? He's got you tangled up in something.
No.
Tell me what it is. I'll help you get free of him.
I can't.
You have to.
I can't.
Sally, for days I've been watching that videotape of you, wondering what it would be like to hold you. And the whole time I'm thinking...
What is it?
Nothing. I gotta go.
Why?
I gotta go. I'll call you.
David, don't go. Take me around again.
I really gotta go now.
I want to show you something.
What are those for?
Don't you know? Like this. And this. This. Tie me up. I like it when you understand. Come on. Tie me up.
Now that was a press conference.
You think it went well?
No. Brilliantly. Sam, if I were a betting man, I'd bet you'd have Eastman's resignation on your desk tomorrow. Now, you let Fallon deliver the keynote at the convention and...
No way. Not acceptable. As a keynoter, as a legislator, or as a human being. No way.
Mr. President, Admiral Riker's in the Roosevelt room with two of his associates. He says it's a matter of gravest urgency.
Mr. President, we now know who hired Peterson to assassinate Colonel Martinez. Rogers.
The Nicaraguan communists named their movement after General Augustin Cesar Sandino, an early revolutionary martyr.
Now, when Ortega shot his way to power, he ordered one symbolic act in Sandino's memory. His police hunted down and killed the army officers who murdered Sandino in 1934. 2 of the 3 who are still alive, anyhow.
That's very interesting. Get to the point, please.
Wait until you hear the name of the 3rd murderer.
Colonel Julio Ramirez.
Not that old man in Florida.
I don't believe it.
Oh, yes. You think of him as a blind old man, frail and poetic. But Julio Ramirez was not always an old man. You see, gentlemen, he was the commander of the fascist death squads. He is perhaps the closest thing the Americas have ever produced to a Mangala or Eichmann.
And the United States is sheltering such a man?
It's a convenience.
It's an outrage.
You don't know the half of it. Ramirez and the other Contra leaders hired Peterson to assassinate Martinez.
Nonsense. Martinez was the patron saint of the Contras. You telling me his own people wanted him dead?
We did.
Admiral Riker, I think this is an opportune time to ask your colleagues to excuse us, unless, of course, you have something more to report. Thank you very much, gentlemen.
Mr. President.
Riker, I want you to tell me all about Colonel Martinez, point blank, withholding nothing.
All right. Martinez was losing the war. We knew it. The other Contra leaders knew it. And we all knew the only way to get him out was feet first.
Talk sense. They wanted Martinez out. They could have made it look like he died in combat.
Of course they could. But they thought they could get a double dip out of it. So, they sent a former CIA agent to do the killing. Not to fool the peons or the press, but to fool us. The 3 of us. Into thinking it was Ortega. If we believed that, they knew we'd step up the war. They fooled us. We stepped up.
We did. Is that true, Lou? I want an answer, damn it.
Yes, we stepped up. Arms, cash, everything.
All right. Ramirez hired Peterson. What in the hell do we do now?
We can't do a damn thing except take it to our graves. If we let it go public, it'll tear the Contra movement in 2, and you can kiss a democratic Nicaragua goodbye for the rest of this century.
Excuse me, gentlemen, but isn't going public with this the only chance we've got to stop the AIDS story getting out?
Yes, Bill, I suppose it is.
Well, don't we want to? Now, wait a second. If you bastards think I'm taking the rap for this alone, you're crazy.
You forget yourself, Admiral.
The hell I do. He set up the physical at Walter Reed and got the virus from the Army.
I think you're mistaken. We offer physicals to all visiting dignitaries from developing nations. And the AIDS virus was authorized only for laboratory testing, not for political murder.
Damn it, you knew we were going to use it to kill Martinez.
I knew nothing of the kind.
Damn you. Damn you both.
Checkmate.
Hey, you want a paper?
Huh?
You want a paper or what?
Yeah. I want a paper.
Hey, mister. Thanks.
Well, good night.
Night.
Is something wrong? Did I hurt you?
No. You're such a pretty lover.
What is it then?
I want to love you so much. It hurts.
Yes?
Told you, a country that can put a man on the moon can put a fool in the White House.
Let's save it, Stevie. Terry's got it wrapped up. Eastman's going to have the shortest campaign in the history of national politics.
Chris Van Allen just called to tell me the same thing.
He did?
Is it true, Miss Crane, that Senator Fallon just kicked you out on your pretty bottom? Don't say I didn't warn you.
You know, Stevie, I almost used to like you.
Fallon is going to the governor's caucus dinner tonight, and he's going to take questions. That blows the exclusive that you owe me. Lady, you and me have got a relationship problem.
Wasn't my call.
Who?
Chris.
So you are out on your fanny.
Don't hold a weight for me yet, Stevie. It's just a temporary setback.
Then I suppose I'll see you at the convention.
You bet your padded bra you will.
Are you sitting there telling me Sam isn't going to demand Eastman's resignation?
He's meeting with him this morning to discuss their differences.
What is there to discuss? Damn it, Lou. 2 days ago, Eastman told the country the president was guilty of obstruction of justice. The FBI proved he's either a liar or a fool. Now he's announced for the presidency. I'm beginning to think he's a certifiable lunatic. Sam must demand, and Eastman must resign.
I told you he won't budge. He won't fire Eastman. And he won't accept Fallon. You still prepared to let Fallon keynote the convention?
Will Sam approve that?
Don't ask him, just do it. The delegates will hand him the number 2 spot by acclamation.
I've known Sam Baker too long, Lou. I can't do that.
Then I'll do it.
That's a desperate act, Lou.
Desperate men do desperate things.
What if Fallon stampedes the convention? Suppose he tries to take it all from Sam.
If that happens, Charlie, I'll cut Fallon's heart out. And a little blonde will be the knife.
Dan? Coffee? No, thanks. Let's keep this short and sweet. Dan, your announcement for the presidency is... Sam, before you embarrass yourself, I still intend to press for a congressional investigation. I still think you have something to hide. And that's going to be the theme of my campaign for the nomination.
Well, if you really believe that, then you should take it before the convention. But not as Vice President of the United States.
Cut it out, Sam. You think I'm going to resign for the sake of good form?
I want your letter of resignation signed and undated on my desk this morning.
Undated?
I'll decide the appropriate time for you to step down.
Still a dreamer, huh, Sam? You're locked in a death struggle with me for control of the convention and the White House, and you still think you're going to win by a peremptory strike.
I hoped I wouldn't have to say this. Took me a long time to figure out why you invented that story about the Secret Service investigation, but now I think I understand. You were trying to hide in plain sight, so obvious that people overlooked it. You had Secret Service agents from your staff trying to dig up dirt on Terry Fallon. Now that's illegal. And then one of them was killed. You're a criminal, Dan. You're a disgrace to your office.
Can you prove that, any of it?
No. For the sake of this country, I hope I never have to.
See you in St. Louis, Sam.
Mr. Mancuso? Mr. Mancuso? Mr. Mancuso, are you awake?
Go away.
Mr. Mancuso, your office is calling.
Tell her it's sick. Tell her it died and went to heaven.
They say it's an emergency.
Yeah.
Excuse me, sir.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Welcome. I'm Davy's uncle. I'm Dr. Aronowitz. And you are?
Mancuso. Used to work with Davy.
You're Nick? Yeah, Nick. Well, shalom, Nick. Shalom. Oh, here, let me help you. Come. You'll meet the family.
Mr. Mancuso, I'm Howard Ross. This is my wife, Elaine, and our daughter, Carla.
Hello, Mr. Mancuso.
We know you were a very good friend of Davy. We know that you taught him a great deal.
He talks about you all the time. He thinks you're a great detective.
Oh, yeah.
And very funny. Very funny. He did.
We're very grateful for all that you did for Davy. We know that you looked out for him and tried to keep him safe.
Yeah. Well,
I hope that if we can ever do anything for you, you'll call on us.
Yes. Come and visit us sometime. Tell us about Davy. God bless you, Mr. Mancuso.
Sorry.
They're very strong. Amazing, isn't it?
yeah. What's that, the little black ribbon, what's that?
Well, that's a little swatch of torn cloth that the immediate family wears. It symbolizes the rending of clothes in grief. It's a very old custom, you know, from the Bible.
The casket's closed.
Yeah, sometimes it is. It depends.
He wasn't cut up, was he?
Was stabbed once in the throat. They say muggers. What a world, huh?
Yeah.
Well, maybe you'd like to spend a minute alone with Davy?
I came as soon as I heard.
He was nothing to me.
Come in, Lou.
How do you take this?
Truman once said, if you can't stand the heat, get out of the kitchen.
I got something to talk to you about.
I gathered that.
We want you to deliver the keynote speech at the convention.
The president agreed?
The president didn't get a vote.
McDonald?
He didn't get a vote either. You pleased?
I'm reflecting.
On what?
On the future of this country, Lou.
You play your cards right and you can have a run at the roses in 4 years.
Really?
You play your cards wrong and I'll make you a dirty joke. You and your little blonde.
Tough talk, Lou.
Don't tempt me, Fallon. I'm not a gentleman like Baker who won't get his hands dirty, or a buffoon like Eastman who can be buffaloed with patriotic mouthwash.
You've been listening in, Lou.
You bet I have. And when I say jump, you're going to say how high on the way up. Remember that. When you have a draft of your speech, send it to me for approval.
Including the part about how Martinez was poisoned with AIDS? I have my sources too, Lou. And I'll tell you right now what I'm going to say in my keynote. I'm going to say how the moral leadership in this country has failed. And how I have come to lead the nation back to fundamental values. And if you'd like to hear me say that instead of telling the story of how Martinez was poisoned, just get Sam Baker to step aside and endorse me for president. I warn you, Lou. Don't cast the first stone. Claire? Claire, I'm home.
I'm going to blow your head off. You killed him.
What? Who?
Lie to me.
What are you talking about? He was mugged.
He was onto something with those tapes.
What? What are you talking about, you dumb Sicilian? Let me up.
I'll kill you.
You'll kill nothing. You never had the brains God gave little apples. I'll bust you out for this.
Yeah, you do that. We'll both go down together.
Oh, grow up, Mancuso. He was mugged going home from a bounce party with Fallon's press bimbo. What? Your secretary saw them sucking mouth. If he made it with her, he died happy.
No.
What the hell is with you? Sweet Jesus! Smart-ass Jew with a jerk for a partner and a burn in his pants. How the hell did you expect him to end up?
Don't talk about him that way, you miserable bastard! He cracked us. I'm gonna close it.
I won't be long.
What the hell are you doing here?
You called the Pentagon, asked to be reactivated for sea duty. Why?
Why did you block the request?
Let's talk.
Not in here.
See, you finally took care of Ross last night.
Wasn't our party.
Don't tell me that murder was coincidence. I don't believe in coincidence any more than you do.
Then why did you send the SWAT team to kill Peterson?
I sent them. You sent them, and you told Fallon Martinez was poisoned.
The hell I did. Lou, I've got a bad feeling. We're playing in a three-handed game. And I know what you've been up to, Lou. Ever since the assassination, you haven't been trying to protect me. You've been trying to hang me.
What are you talking about?
Put Ross under FBI surveillance so there would be an eyewitness when I hit him. A CIA hit would have been better than a signed confession, Lou. Then I'd have been in Leavenworth for life, and you'd have walked away scot-free. Don't even try to deny it. You rotten backstabbing.
Bill, the great alliances of this world aren't based on trust, just mutual convenience. When Martinez ceased to be convenient, we exterminated him. Do you deserve a special dispensation?
Get out.
Not just yet. Today, our agendas match. I'll put you back in the Navy if you get me what I need. Fallon's trying to blackmail Baker. I've got something on Fallon that can keep him in check. His love affair with his little blonde press girl.
What do you want from me?
She was in Central America with the Peace Corps. Managed to stay on after her tour ended. Now, she couldn't have done that unless she was in bed with someone in authority. I want everything you can get on her. Where she worked, who she slept with, who was looking out for her. I'm right about that bimbo. She's a little pinko tramp. And pretty boy Fallon has been sleeping with the enemy.
Lou, where the hell did you get your concept of government of the people, by the people, and for the people?
Please, please, no moralizing, Bill. To the American people, the government's a 60-second soundbite on the nightly news. A bunch of mausoleums on the Potomac. Do you think the average American has any conception of what the United States government is? Or does? Half of them won't even bother to vote this November. All they want from the government is gasoline for $1 a gallon, 5-day weather forecasts, Social Security when they get too old to work, and a rocket landing on the moon every once in a while. Otherwise, their pursuit of happiness is gaping at sitcoms and drinking themselves to sleep. This isn't a nation. It's a nursery school for spoiled little rich kids who've never known a moment's want and who don't understand that we're in a global death struggle for their survival every day. Now, you get me enough dirt to bury Fallon, and I'll see you back on active sea duty with full military honors.
No thanks, Lou. Not this time. If you want to destroy that woman, you'll have to find another way. I'm tapped out. Finished. I'm through killing campesinos and wrecking careers.
So, conscience does make cowards of us all.
Oh, no, Lou. I've outlived my conscience. I've waded so deep in blood I can't see either shore. But this whole covert nightmare has to end, or this country won't be worth the ink to print it on a map.
Bill, you surprise me. I never knew until this moment what a sentimental sop you were. I thought somewhere under that Pentagon paunch there was a warrior.
Don't you talk to me like that, mister. I carried the flag in 2 wars. There was a warrior, Lou, once upon a time. There just wasn't a mad dog like you. By the way, Lou, just for the record, I'd have killed you too if I thought it would have made any difference.
Coffee, Nick?
Sure. Good night, you guys.
Good night. See you. See you later.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Anyone hear me? How can we turn our backs while our friends lie dying? Please, listen to me. This man was not a politician. He was just a man with a simple man's dream, his children.
You're gonna be all right.
Just makes me sick to think whoever murdered him is gonna get away with it.
Don't worry, they won't.
They're too big, Mancuso. You're never gonna get them.
I'm tired of trying to get them. Now I'm gonna help them get each other. You mind hanging out here? I gotta go out for a while. You might be able to help me later. What's so important? I want to talk to your boss.
The senator's engaged.
Yeah, and he's married too, right?
I don't much care for your attitude.
Listen, Tinkerbell. You better fly up to your flock and get him. I'm going to wrap you off 2 walls. You tell him it's about Sally Crane. Go on. Get lost before I pull your daisy. Go on.
Mr. Mancuso? Thank you. What about Sally? She all right?
Yeah, she's terrific. She hired the guy who shot you and Martinez. What? She set up the whole thing.
I don't believe it.
You will. Better get your coat. Back here. Keep the door closed.
All right. I'm here. Show me.
Hold out your hands. Here, catch. These are the cartridges that Peterson fired. 6 are the same. The 7th one was different. It's painted black, see? Peterson was a pro hitter. He loaded his own. He left nothing to chance. The last thing he would do before he fired was to see that one was chambered.
So what?
When you open the breech, you can see the casing, but not the load. By painting the casing black, he could tell that he had the right load under the hammer. All of the bullets weren't the same. 6 were soft shell slugs, the kind that tear open a man's guts, and even a near miss makes a wound that you can put your fist through. What we couldn't figure out is why the last one was different.
Why was it?
It wasn't. It was the first one that was different. This was a full steel jacket. It cuts a clean wound in and out and keeps on going. You put it in the right place, and it hurts like hell, huh? But it won't cut an artery. Peterson was a dead shot. This was the first round he fired, and it was meant only for you.
That's preposterous.
Oh, yeah? You want to bet, huh? Come on, let's show him.
All right, these are the tapes of the assassination from 4 different news crews with a quad split. We've locked them up to run in sync. The G3 fires 10 rounds per second. Videotape runs at 30 frames per second. So even if Peterson held the trigger down, we should have 21 frames to look at.
You should be wounded with the first shot. Go ahead.
Coming up.
First you, then Martinez. All right, roll it again. Watch.
No, but I can't. There has to be some explanation for that.
There is. Show him.
This is the reverse angle UBS was shooting for cutaways.
Move in on the blonde. Roll it back.
I don't see what this has to do with it.
Watch again. Watch your hands. Listen for the gunshots. She moves her hands up before the first gunshot. Want to see it again? She knew. Thanks, Harris.
Will that, stand up in court?
No.
Are you going to arrest her?
I want the people she works for.
Who?
I don't know.
No, this is insane. Why would she do a thing like this?
Publicity stunt.
You're depraved.
Hey, it worked, didn't it? Senator, you gotta help me.
Me? How?
You just go on treating her the same. You don't do anything to put her on guard while I do some checking.
All right. All right, I'll try. Thank you.
Terry? Terry, I've been calling for you everywhere. I talked to Governor Ames of Virginia and Geary from Ohio. They'll both be at the airport when you arrive for the convention tomorrow. Terry, we're over the top.
Terry, you heard. My God, we're gonna make it.
Well, I gotta leak this to the AP back in a flash.
Terry, it's a dream come true. My God, it's gonna happen. Terry, what's wrong?
It's Mancuso.
What about Mancuso?
He knows.
All right. Leave him to me.
Sally, I am telling you, he knows all about us.
So what? He's got no proof. He's a nobody. Go listen to him. Terry, we're there. It's within our reach. Don't you understand?
You had Peterson shoot me.
Don't be absurd.
I saw it on the tape.
I thought it would be more effective. It was.
My God, Sally. First Martinez, then Peterson, then Ross, now Mancuso. When will it end?
When we're in the White House.
God, Sally.
monster.
And you are a limp, cowardly fool.
What is it now?
Some guy's out there from the FBI. He says he knows who she is. Any port in a storm, right?
All right. Send him in.
Mancuso, FBI.
What do you want? I'm busy. But that's
Sally Crane. I told you it was going to be something really dirty. But this is even hotter than I hoped for.
Where did you get these?
The wife of a friend of mine. We'd like to see the newspapers.
No responsible newspaper's gonna print this filth.
They will, if you take it to them.
You despicable slob, what do you think I am?
You put the Secret Service into political espionage. That's a felony. The guy got blown away at the Mayfair Hotel. That's second-degree murder.
Oh, wait a minute, Mancuso. Maybe we could...
Just do it. Then get yourself another job.
Oh, my God. You miserable, wretched failure.
The governor's caucus has endorsed Terry Fallon for vice president. That does it, Sam. Either you accept him or they'll kick you out and run him in your place.
Lou, did it ever occur to you that Ramirez wants more than control of the Contras?
Like what?
Well, if he sent Peterson here to shoot Martinez, maybe his plan wasn't just to replace the leadership of the Contras. Maybe it was to be able to name the next president of the United States.
Who? You don't mean Fallon?
Ramirez asked him to make the welcoming speech. He put Fallon behind that podium.
Sam, I think you're getting carried away.
Humor me.
All right. Well, if this is an exercise in dialectic, you must believe that Fallon and Ramirez were in this together. Possible? Sam, please. Are you saying that Terry Fallon agreed to stand on that podium and let a man shoot him in the hopes that the wound wouldn't be fatal?
Maybe that wound was accidental.
Sam, this is fantasy.
Maybe Fallon really believes he's been chosen.
Chosen?
Yeah, he told me that fate had chosen him to be on that roster.
Fate? He used the word fate?
He said fate chose the place. I was ambitious. I was there. And
I was lucky enough to survive. And I can't apologize for that.
How did you know he said that to me?
My God, Sam. The whole thing. The whole thing's an act.
What?
Sam, listen to me. I watched him on television that morning. I watched him get up and stagger to that microphone with a bullet wound in his side. And when he said the words, I thought, my God, this guy's a miracle. But it wasn't a miracle. It was written and rehearsed.
Lou, I think you're...
Sam, listen to me. Terry Fallon knew that Peterson was going to shoot Martinez. Damn it, he knew. He already had the eulogy written. Terry Fallon murdered Octavio Martinez. Fallon and Ramirez hired Peterson and then had him killed. Oh, Sam. Oh, this is good. Sam, this is very good. You've been worried about Fallon succeeding you as president. Now we have a way to use him to win the election without any danger of him ever controlling the White House. You give Terry Fallon the number 2 spot on the ticket. You campaign with him, you win re-election. How can you fail with a hero at your side?
Are you out of your mind?
You win the election. Then we put the screws to Ramirez and all those other little Contra rats. You grind them till they cough up everything they know about Fallon. Then all you have to do is hold it under his nose. Fallon steps down, goes back to teaching history. You've got 4 more years and we find some rookie to fill the vacancy.
Are you serious?
Dead serious.
You know what you're saying?
There's no other way, Sam. There's just no other way.
Lou? Was Admiral Riker telling the truth? Did you plan the poisoning of Colonel Martinez?
What difference does it make if you don't get reelected?
You don't understand, do you? What's at stake here is not an election, Lou. It's the Constitution of the United States. It's the law.
Sam, gravity is a law. The Constitution is just a wistful, outdated dream.
Sent the SWATs to burn him.
Who is this?
You put a contract out on a rod.
That's a lie.
You've been lifting your skirts for Fallon since you were a reporter on the Houston Post.
Who told you that?
The only man who knows all, honey.
The Honorable Terrence Fallon himself. You lying bitch.
Am I? Well, honey, he just told me the cutest little secret.
One night back in Houston, he brought a friend home to help him rape his wife and put her in the asylum.
And this friend? Well, wasn't what you might expect.
Seems this friend was a pretty little girl. A girl who likes a little leather in her lovin'.
His wife never saw her before. Hasn't ever seen her since. Doesn't even know her name.
But you do, don't you, Sally? Because it was you, honey. It was you, slut.
It was you, Sally Crane.
Read the morning paper, darling. Pleasant dreams. Who is this?
You did good.
Don't you ever feel anything?
What? What is it?
Damn it, did you see the morning paper?
No, Terry, what is it?
Well, go get it! Get something
Damn it, do it now!
Maurice? Maurice? Damn it, wake up! Maurice? Maurice!
Oh, yes, lover.
Damn it, get to the avenue. Get me a newspaper.
Which newspaper, my dear?
Damn it, I don't know. Get them all!
Oh, my God. Is it true? Is that you in those pictures?
Stevie, please don't ask me that.
Listen, I'm going to send a remote crew over to your house. They'll be there in half an hour.
Hey, come on, babe. Everybody's
Going to lead with this tomorrow. You can pay off my Fallon exclusive with one on your cell.
Show me where they'll be standing.
They'll be standing there. You'll shoot from here. Can you do it?
Of course.
I don't want you to kill him. Just wound him.
Martinez?
No. Martinez must die. I'm talking about Fallon.
He's your lover. I don't believe you, La Putita.
All right, he's my lover.
Then it's 100,000.
To wound him?
No. Not to kill him.
Done.
You ever miss those nights? Those nights we spent hunting the Sandinistas and sleeping out in the jungles north of Zacatecoluca.
You're the only gringo I ever knew who could say that word without tripping on his tongue.
You were happy there. We both were.
I failed there. We all did.
And now?
Now I know that only those with power have the power to change the world.
You learned well, La Putita.
I've had good teachers.
Who?
Men.
You'd kill me too if you had to.
I have to.
Good morning, Catherine.
Good morning.
Has Admiral Riker arrived?
Yes, he's in the Roosevelt room. And, this just arrived from the Vice President.
Not a word. Sergeant, come with me.
Good morning, Mr. President.
Did you bring your appointment calendars I requested, Admiral?
Yes, sir.
Sergeant, this officer is not to leave this room without my permission. If he endeavors to do so, I want you to place him under close arrest. And if he resists arrest, I want you to shoot to kill.
Yes, sir. Mr. President.
Admiral, I now realize that you and Mr. Brenner conspired to kill Colonel Martinez by injecting him with the AIDS virus. Now, my secretary is coming in here in a moment, and I want your statement, sir. Everything. Names, dates, and places, everything, including the Beckwith murders. No ellipses. And when you've finished with that, I want you to dictate and sign your resignation. You will be prosecuted. Is that understood?
Yes, sir.
Did you want to see me? What is it, another citation?
You did this, you rotten bastard.
Eastman did it. You lose, Brenner. Come November, you're gone. You and your whole stinking crew.
That's where you're wrong. This'll slide off Fallon like the dirty slur it is. Eastman will have to resign, and at the convention tomorrow, we'll announce that Fallon's going to fill his unexpired term. We'll have our ticket in place. The election will be a boat ride, and there's not a damn thing you can do about it.
Maybe.
You'd report to Supervisor Scott's office. You're washed up, Mancuso. Finished. Right now.
Yeah, I know. Here's a farewell present.
You should have sent these photographs to the newspapers. These would have ruined Fallon's career as well as the girls.
That's right. Somehow it didn't seem enough.
Those photos?
Yeah.
Mancuso.
Really?
That fool O'Brien. In his boundless, big-footed ignorance, he assigns the one man to the case who can solve it. A lonely misanthrope with no respect for authority.
I want you to take a look at this.
But this is
Admiral Riker's confession. I'm holding it for O'Brien.
But of course you're not going to give it to him.
Yeah. To him and to the Intelligence Oversight Board.
Sam, my name's in there. I'll be implicated. I'll have to resign.
Yeah. Admiral Riker already has. He'll be resigning to return to the private sector. And what happens to you after that is up to the Oversight Board and the Department of Justice.
So, by the time the confession reaches the board, the guilty have all been fired, proving that the system works. Indictments are handed down in the Beckwith murder, and the poisoning of Martinez remains a secret for national security reasons. Well, Sam, I see the time I spent with you hasn't been wasted.
We had some good times. I have much to thank you for. In fact, this country has much to thank you for.
then what purpose does this exercise serve?
If you don't understand that by now, I'm not the man to instruct you.
Sorry, I'm late. The typist had a little trouble.
Oh, the messenger just got here. The speech is perfect. It sets the issue of Sally in the pictures to rest permanently.
But this is what I wrote.
Well, then who wrote this? She must have been in the office all night working on this. The things women do for love.
Well, we all know she can write and pose. You do a quick televised press conference, then a motorcade to Dulles. I'll set the flight back 1 hour, all right?
Fine. Oh, Chris. Make sure the Secret Service knows that Sally's been fired.
Yeah, what do you want?
You're out, Nick. Today. Right now. You're gone. Finished, you scuzzball.
I got 3 months yet.
Oh, you're done. This minute.
I'll appeal. You're not busting my pension.
Oh, that's right, I'm not.
What's that?
It's early retirement, Nick. In a search of its files, the Benevolent Bureau has found that you have 14 weeks vacation coming.
I don't.
As of this morning, you do. That takes you out, buddy. You're paid, your pension, your history. Sign it.
With pleasure.
Damn it, it was supposed to be clerical work. You knew that! Why turn it into a nightmare? What was it to you?
Maybe I'm just an old-fashioned idealist.
See the cashier on the 2nd floor.
My God. Brenner? Riker?
Well, I've got Eastman's letter of resignation here in my pocket.
Mary, Mother of God.
Tomorrow he steps down. I choose my running mate, have him confirmed as vice president. We campaign as incumbents.
Well, that's clever, Sam, but Terry Fallon will fight you tooth and nail.
That's why I've got to be sure that I've got a running mate who's not afraid of a fight.
I don't know, Sam. After all that's happened, I don't know anyone who'd be willing. Oh, no. Oh, my God. You're serious?
Can't promise you anything, Charlie. Just a bloody nose. Maybe a chance to prove this government's more than just a trumped-up television show, but I'm willing to go out on that.
Sure. What the hell? I've been in Congress long enough. If you want me, you got me.
Please hold it down. Ladies and gentlemen, please. Can I have your attention? Please hold it down. Thank you. Senator Fallon will have a brief statement.
Senator regards the revelations in today's newspapers as a personal matter pertaining only to Miss Crane. Don't you mean intimate?
Why is it the best shows never make it on the air?
Please, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. The published photos clearly predate Miss Crane's association with the senator's office.
Sure, there are baby pictures.
Please be seated. Please sit down. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, the senator from Texas, the Honorable Terrence Fallon.
I have a short statement. The This morning I received a sad and disturbing phone call from a woman who's been an important part of our office during my years in Congress. I want to leave no doubt that I regard the revelations in today's newspapers as indecent and notorious. How Sally Crane comported herself as a young woman raises questions that defy easy explanation. These are forms of behavior toward which no decent person could feel anything but revulsion.
Hey, Nick. So, you finally pulled the plug.
Yeah.
Some of us will miss you, kid. This is your lump sum payment for unused vacation days. Less FICA, less federal.
Mary, Fallon's on television. He's on.
Thank you. It's about that poor girl. Want to watch?
No, I'm through with all that now.
Sally Crane had everything a girl could ask for. Intelligence, personality, a loving family, a fine education. She was an heroic Peace Corps nurse who served in the foulest jungles of Central America, who dreamed of a better world, who worked for one, who believed that her dreams could be achieved. She was to be bitterly disappointed. Like you, she watched as one American administration after another stained our ideals with lies and perjury. From Watergate to the Iran arms for hostages deal, she watched as one American government after another lied to this nation and to the rest of the world. Like you, Sally Crane watched while cynicism and dishonesty spread from Washington to our very heartland. How could we think that our government could spread this infection throughout the rest of the world while we remained immune? Could we have been so arrogant? Could we have been so blind?
This is Admiral Riker's confession to the poisoning of Colonel Martinez and the murders of the Beckwith family. See to it that it gets to the Intelligence Oversight Board, along, of course, with your full report. Henry? You thought I was a part of the conspiracy, didn't you? That's all right. I know that you assigned Mancuso because you had a hunch he could break the case.
I knew they couldn't buy him. He wouldn't be intimidated by the
White House. You know, I knew you were one hell of a cop, Henry. Forgive me, I never realized you were a patriot as well.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Henry, I'd like to thank Agent Mancuso in person. Would you have him come and see me, please?
Agent Mancuso is retired.
Has he?
Now, this moves your health insurance to retirement basis. And this terminates your bond of the month plan.
How come?
Well, you're going to be on your pension now.
No, that's all right. Leave it. Maybe Uncle Sam needs the money.
Now, your first pension check will mail on November 8th. No, the 9th. It's election day. You going to vote this year, Nick?
I already did.
Today, a young woman has had her career destroyed. Because once in her distant past, she fell into the hands of unscrupulous men who exploited her in the cruelest way imaginable. What happened to Sally Crane is her fault, and she must answer for it. But she did not fall alone. There were accomplices.
Thanks, Mary.
Nick, one more thing.
Hey, how about that?
Benefits, Mary. Yeah, he's right here. Nick, it's for you. Hold on.
Yeah. Nick? Yeah, this is Nick.
Sam Baker.
Yeah.
I hear you're retiring.
That's right.
I wish you'd reconsider.
I know you went to see Eastman last night.
What if I did?
I know that you told Brenner about the poison and he panicked.
They were planning to kill you, you know.
So?
They won't. They're all gone. I'd like to ask you a question, and I'd appreciate an honest answer. You could have walked away from all of this. Why didn't you?
No reason.
No, I'm sorry. I can't accept that.
Maybe I figured the country should have a second chance.
This fair, fortunate land always seems to find her champions when she needs them.
God bless you, Agent Mancuso.
What was that all about?
Just some guy who wants did a favor.
Bye, Nick.
The despicable photographs in today's newspapers are unfit to be seen, but I am asking you to look at them and to look at Sally Crane. Because each and every American who has lived these past 40 years shares some blame for her fall. And we share that blame because none of us has demanded enough from our government, has demanded honor, has demanded decency, has demanded that our leaders keep faith with our ideals. Now, I will make a confession to you. I knew something of Sally Crane's past. I knew that she was an idealist who had lost her way, who wanted a second chance. Who among you does not believe in forgiveness? Who among you has never begged for a second chance? Now, I believe in this nation and what it stands for. And I believe in the fundamental ideals that we adore. Now, I believe in a world of equal peoples. And I believe that our dreams can be achieved if we as Americans stop lying to ourselves and to the rest of the world. Today, I pledge that this nation will have a rebirth in honor, feared by our enemies, admired by our friends, a bright light of conscience and hope for the world. However history may judge Sally Crane, she was a friend, a devoted friend of this hemisphere. Today, the poor people of the Americas have lost a hero and a benefactor. And if she were standing here now, she would say to them and to you, Valencia, courage, persistencia, persistence, esperanza, hope. For my part, I commit my life, as I beg you to do, to a renewed America, to an America in which this tragedy can never happen again. And with all my heart, Sally, may you someday learn self-respect and the real meaning of love.
Just hang on!
the other senators joining the fun.
Who are the other women with you? Did you love him? No. Never.
Drop it! Drop it now!
In case you've just joined us, Senator Terry Fallon, the vice presidential hopeful, has just been assassinated. The senator was shot to death by a member of his own staff, Sally Crane, who was apparently despondent
isn't
over
Sally Crane the girl you...
reports that she operated a Washington sex ring. Miss Crane then took her own life.
Did you love him?
No. Never. Drop it! Drop it now!
We apologize if some of our viewers find this footage disturbing. UBS live coverage of this dramatic story from Washington will continue right after these messages.
Right.
Mess.
It's funny. Even after everything she did, I almost feel sorry for her. Don't you?
She wouldn't want anybody feeling sorry for her. All by herself, that little blonde almost took down the government of the United States. Yeah. Ow. Hey. Souvenir.
Hold it, buddy. Come here. You earned this.
Maybe I did.